All right, welcome. We are sitting down. We're going to have a little video conversation about a few different things that we've pulled up on the internet to give us a little kind of guide on what to talk about here. So, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jesse Long. I work for Remax First in Detroit Metro Auctions. I'm an auctioneer and a real estate agent. I do a lot of commercial deals. And this is Zach.
Howdy. I have been an agent for about 8 years now.
8 years?
We're going to talk about a few things here. What do we got here, sir?
So the very first thing is real estate. So the future of commercial real estate post-pandemic. So it wants us to explore the landscape, is how it's changed and what investors should look out for. So
Okay.
So last year I did 75% of all the commercial, 75% of all my business was commercial. So it was selling businesses or selling commercial spaces. I didn't work with any buyers, but I did sell some commercial properties last year. And when they're talking about post-pandemic, they're typically talking about office space. So office space is in abundance right now, which is driving the price of commercial real estate down. But places like, I don't know, say retail or even warehousing, stuff where it's in light industrial, it's still in high demand. If I had to talk about commercial real estate, I would say probably try to fade any type of office stuff that doesn't have to do with like medical, but try to invest into things like multifamilies or strip malls or maybe warehouses or something like that, right?
Yeah, I would definitely noticed that the retail space, the office space, it's all staying on the market for way longer than it was. So, got to get creative out there in the commercial category.
Right. So I just put a commercial deal online. It's a spa place out in Macomb, and so that's a business being sold straight out, and we just listed that today. It's a $300,000 listing. So if you need to get in touch with me about that, you can reach out to me. And now this is probably something more in your wheelhouse. The next thing is investing in vacation rentals. Discuss the potential of profitability, challenges, and strategies for success for investing in vacation rentals.
Vacation rentals.
So you're talking about like people buying and holding for Airbnb or VRBO.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about it? I don't know if that's
This is like a hot topic in general. So like there's a lot of municipalities won't allow short-term rentals to go into the place. Like St. Clair Shores won't let you do that, but Harrison Township will. So a place where a lot of people are making money in Michigan with VRBO and with what's the other one? Airbnb.
Airbnb.
Right. They're leasing properties that are either on the water or very close to the water because the sport fishing here in Michigan is like the best in the world,
Yeah.
right? So like there's a guy that's in our company named Scott Zemmons, and he taught me all about vacation rentals. You need to have a lot of capital to be able to pull that off, but it doesn't really even matter where you go. People got to go there. So like if you're doing these short-term rentals, like if someone passes away and say you got to come into town and you have like dogs or for some reason you have enough people to fill a whole house, like you're not going to go to a hotel to buy, to spend that money when you could just rent a whole house for the same amount of money.
Right.
So they're turning these regular residential homes into these rentals, right? Which probably sucks for the neighborhood because then they don't ever really have solid neighbors. They have like different people rolling in each week. But the good thing is that it doesn't have to be like a conforming property. So like, a lot of people are out looking for 3 bedrooms with a basement with a garage. Like, sure, let's just say it only has 2 bedrooms and no basement and no garage. Like, it'll still work as that short-term rental. You won't be able to get as many like people to stay in the house, but like it's still desirable for people to rent it instead of a hotel, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that raises the value of property in general because like if say me and you were we're casual investors and we're considering like buying a house to like hold or flip or whatever, now not only are we going against people that are like us, we're going against people that want to hold it and do a short-term rental, and that's driving up the price because they know how much money they can make by holding it. So that's just a little bit of the discussion for vacation rentals. There's a ton of profitability in it. There's this thing called a rentalizer. So if you get a chance, go to go to one of the search engines and type in rentalizer, and I think it's called airdna.com. You can put any address in there, and it'll tell you what your expected occupancy is and expected rental is for it. And you can kind of, if you pay extra money, then you can put more metrics in it, and it'll give you like more drilled down numbers. But I've used that for a long time because I wanted to invest in a house.
Right.
Now they're getting too expensive. It's a little bit crazy.
Well, it's important too with the short-term rentals too for locations. Number one, obviously, people want a spot where they want to be surrounded by. I mean, location's number one, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. What else we got? Auctions.
Yep. So we're going to talk about auctions. The first thing on the little hit list here is the art of winning at auctions. So I'm an auctioneer. I don't know how much you've done auctions, but I do auction like once a week where I'm running auctions. I'm going to pick stuff up, but I also buy things at auction. So you play a lot of poker, right?
No.
Okay.
I don't like.
You don't like any kind of gambling stuff. So check it out. So like
we gotta try this again.
We got it. We're just gonna keep working. There's no one's gonna watch this thing anyway. If you watch this,
no, we should do this though. Like we should if we had like a 3-minute segment.
We're just gonna go through all this, and we're not gonna stop. And we're just gonna post it on the internet, and then no one's gonna watch it anyway. Like literally, I have like 6 views on my YouTube channel. I have 1,100 subscribers. 6 views. This is all that's gonna happen.
We should do like a 5-minute.
Well, we can take clips off of this video and use it.
Okay.
So let's just talk about auctions just a touch, right? The art of it winning at auctions, it's quite a bit like poker, where like you don't want to show too much interest right away, and like at the very end, it's kind of when you're putting it in. So like like when you're betting on the river or whatever, it's kind of like the same idea, because once you show that interest, like you're jumping in, if someone else has got a big hand, then they'll buy you out, or it's going to end up costing you more money to see the cards, right? Mm-hmm. So that same mentality is what you got to do when you're in auction. You just kind of got to figure out, okay, this is the piece that's up for available, right? It would be like something like a good hand, and you say like, this is how much it's worth to me, and set your number before you start getting into it, right? Before you start bidding or you start raising, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what the art of auctions is. Unique finds at auctions. Did you ever buy anything at auction that was sweet?
I got a baseball card that I bought off you for $3, and it was worth about 3 cents.
So you paid $3 for it, and then it was worth 3 cents. Was it like was it like someone that you liked at least?
No, I hated him. I was forced into buying it. I have.
Okay, so you're forced into buy. So how do you feel like you were forced into buying a?
Just the guy I was working with. He just shady motherfucker, man.
Good. I'm glad that you felt like I fucking ripped you off or whatever. But I sell shit like that all the time, right? So it could be like any kind of random thing that I could sell. Like, dude, I've sold horseshoes. I've sold school buses. I've sold friggin' backhoes. Like literally anything you can
How much
think
you
of.
sell school bus for?
We did a school bus auction about 3 years ago. I was only getting like $2,600 per bus.
What?
Yeah, man. Like full size buses. Some of them had like handicapped ones.
I need one of those.
Some of them were short. Some were long. Some people were turning them into like food trucks. We're selling them to a bunch of Mexican people that were taking it down to Mexico, knocking the engine transmission out, and then turning it into like little houses for people.
Oh. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So like they would like buy 2 buses and strap them together, and then like literally drive to Mexico, take the engines out, and flip them into their semi trucks because it's the same engine.
100%, yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Dude, what did I tell you about when I drove down through the Mexican jungle and shit?
No.
Dude, her and I went to, I think it was 2018. Fucking went deep into we were going to explore the Mayans, so we went deep into the fucking Mexican jungle. So, like, the tour bus, when we were driving by, dude, there was, like, probably a stretch of 2 miles where it was just people just living in the woods.
Oh, shit.
Like, lined up, dude. You could see, like, fucking wild dogs, chickens, like, all their shit was just sitting there, dude. And it was just like a community almost, just straight in the middle of the woods, dude. It was so surreal, dude. It just, like...
Does it make you feel like, you know, like, oh, thank God I have this regular life and I don't have to live in the woods?
Honestly, I kind of wanted to go live with them and see what it was like for a few days.
For real?
Yeah.
Dude.
Dude, they had fucking, you know, like all the leaves and stuff for the roof, the sticks for the house. It was wild.
Yeah, no way,
It was
dude.
wild.
I watched that show, like, Naked and Afraid or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't even have nothing. Like, at least, like, those Mexican people, they probably had, like, you know, like, some stuff that they collected, right?
There were a lot of wild dogs.
Yeah, dude. I can't even imagine. Because imagine having a wild dog, and it's hard enough probably for you to feed yourself. Now you gotta, like, make enough food for them, too. Right?
I don't know if they were feeding the dogs. They look pretty skinny, but I don't know.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa. So, all right. So let's circle back. Now we're gonna talk about gold and silver coins.
Okay.
So, the pros and cons of adding silver and coins to your investment portfolio.
I don't know if there is a ton of cons, honestly. Is there?
Yeah, man.
What, getting ripped off?
No, it's not that you're getting ripped off. It's just that
Making wrong investments?
it's super flat.
Just buy it and fucking bury it.
Yeah, that's basically what ends up happening. We call it stacking, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you fucking buy a shitload of silver or gold, and then you just, like, sit on it, right? So, like, the premium on buying silver and gold is pretty high. So, like, say the spot price for gold today is around 21 or about $2,000, right? That means that you can't buy a piece of gold, an ounce of gold for less than $2,100. So every time you make that transaction, you're losing $100 immediately, right?
Right.
Just in premium, and it's even higher on silver. So say a silver coin is I'm talking coins, right? I'm not talking like rounds or like slabs of silver. I'm talking about like a coin that's like minted by the United States or Canada or whoever, right? The cheapest coins that you can buy right now, I think they are maple leafs. Those are Canadian maple leafs, and those are going at $26. And so that's $4 profit on every ounce that you're buying. That the coin, well, from spot price to that.
Gold, right?
So that's silver.
Okay.
$4, right? It's $100 per ounce for gold.
Right.
Right. So like, even if spot price jumps up crazy, it's got to go like $3 or $4, which is a big giant fluctuation in the silver market, to be able to cover what you just spent on premium, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the cons of it is, but it's a long-term hold thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Right. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna buy the silver and then next week I'm gonna double my money. Like next week you're gonna still cash in for hopefully what you paid for it, right? More than likely you're gonna take a little bath on it, but it's a good way to preserve your wealth. The history and collectability of rare coins. We can discuss some of the most sought-after coins among collectors. So, like, the dude that I buy my coins off of around the road, Mike.
Yeah.
He loves these things called Morgan dollars. You know what a Morgan dollar is?
Yep.
So Morgan dollars, even if they're in like rough shape, say like they're, I don't know if you know about grading of coins, but MS63 is like as low as it goes, I think.
Yeah.
It might be MS62, and then it becomes, they call it almost uncirculated, AU. And then, and then it goes all the way up to 70, right? So a Morgan that's at like at 62 is worth
$30.
Well, yeah, maybe about $30, right? Where the normal ounce of silver is only going to be worth about $25 or maybe $24, right? So they paid 20 extra bucks to have that thing certified, and then it kind of came back where it's not as high quality as they needed to be able to cover the amount of money that they paid to have it certified.
Yeah, that's up to the person too to kind of see the condition of the coin before you send it in.
Right. I don't know if there's more.
Definitely wanna-
I don't know if there's more stringent ones or not, but the only two that I ever seen was the PPG, and then there's another one that was really big. But those grading of those Morgan coins, that's like a kind of a cheap way to get into it too. I mean, I know that there's some that are like super rare and they go up to like 15 or 20,000. There might even be more than that. But the only ones that I've ever seen, like even in person, is like $7,000. Was like the most expensive one I ever like held in my hand, right?
For one single Morgan?
One single Morgan. Yeah. But then there's like gold. There's pre-33 gold. You ever hear of that?
No.
So back in the day, they used to like literally not have like paper bills that could be worth a bunch of money. So they used to deal in silver, right? So or not silver. Silver and gold, but mostly gold when you're doing like a big transaction. Like they have these things called double eagles. Even older than that, they have ones that are like these barber heads, right? And those are all made before 1933, and they call those pre-33 coins. And all those hold value tremendously. So like, if you get a hold of those old coins, like all collectors hold on to those like forever. Like they are never coming out of their safe, right? So like a real stacker, you know, they're gonna have some of that stuff inside of their investment portfolio as far as precious metals are concerned, right?
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk more about rare coins? Do you have any cool rare coins that we need to know about?
No, I got a few, but nothing crazy. I'm trying to think. Got a lot of
Did you get some
silver
at the
coins.
auction?
My dad, yeah.
Yeah. So your dad bought some of those. Like I had to, I don't know, what is that? About a year ago. It was about maybe a little bit more than a year ago.
Yeah.
I had a coin auction here. Some guy that was like trying to liquidate some of his collection gave me some coins, and that's where I first really met Zach. I mean, I met him before, but like he bought some of those coins off me in there for his dad, and they were graded coins, and they hold their value awesome. And if that's something you get excited about, you should go to the coin shop and go check that out. The next thing we're going to talk about is stocks. What I invest in mostly is ETFs, right? An ETF is basically an index fund where it has a bunch of stocks inside of it at once, right? So I try to follow the S&P 500. That's the top 500 companies in America, right? And it's rated by Standard & Poor. So that's what S&P means, Standard & Poor. 500 means the top 500 companies, right? And it's weighted to the highest performing companies have the most shares inside of the index. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So those tend to perform pretty well for me. Like it's been going at since the stock market started. The S&P 500 has been gaining on average 10% per year since it started. Right, so that's why I invest in that, and that's all American stock. I spend my money here in America. I don't really want to send it overseas. I don't know what they're doing in those companies, but you know, there's a lot of people that do invest in that stuff. It's just that I'm not very familiar with it, so I don't jump in on that. Right, the rise of the thematic EFTs. So now, dude, there's all these new EFTs or ETFs for Bitcoin and stuff. Do you ever hear about that?
Yeah. Yeah. NFTs?
NFT is a non-fungible token. That's a different thing. It's an EFT. So these are like
same thing, but
yeah, it's
it's still all crypto.
No.
Yeah, same thing.
It's not at all. So we're talking about funds, right? So Bitcoin funds is like they have like Bitcoin Cash, they have regular Bitcoin. They have Bitcoin. There's like all these different Bitcoins that you can invest in, right? So that's like an index of all those things. There's an ETF, and it's tradable on the stock market now.
You bought crypto, didn't you, 2 years ago?
I did.
Yeah.
I did buy some crypto. Not a ton. If I would have took all the money that I put into gold and silver and put into crypto, I would be much happier.
You would be broke.
No, I would be way happier than I am right now. Yeah. No one's gonna watch this shit, like I said, anyway. And if you do watch this and you understand that we are real people and we do say the fuck word and we do get frustrated, and but like,
he'd be broke if he invested in crypto.
That's not true. I will show you my fucking account. Anyways, let's go. Let's jump into the next thing. What do you want to talk about? Football now? You don't want to talk about crypto anymore, do you?
No.
We're just gonna skip a whole section here. Fuck crypto.
Yes, sir.
All right, football. The evolution of football.
I think my whole problem with it was a 25-year-old kid thought they had the whole fucking world figured out with crypto. You know, didn't want to work or didn't want to do anything, so everyone thought they could make money off it, and they all lost. And it makes me happy.
There's a shitload of people that made so much money.
Oh yeah, but 99% of them lost it all.
Yeah.
Thought they were gonna be rich as shit and then lost it all. That's stupidity. That's stupidity.
So for me to invest in some shit, like I have to know about it. Like I don't have any idea like what some of this crypto shit's for. So the main ones that I invest in is Bitcoin, right? Because I know they can be used as money, right?
Yeah.
And that basically
safe.
Okay. Then the next one is called Ethereum. You know about
that one? It's $2,000 a share.
So yeah, it's roughly like that. I bought it at 800.
So that's good. What, like 5 years ago?
No, 2 years ago.
I thought it's been 2,000 for a while.
No, dude, it's been creeping up. I'll show you when we're done off this video. But and then the other one's called Solana. So what Ethereum is, it's its own network, right? So they run all these apps and stuff off of the Ethereum network, and that's the way they trade. It's like the money inside their own thing, right? Solana is the same thing, so it's like it's like way smaller than Ethereum, but it's still the same idea. And those are like some of the top cryptos. Like if you know about crypto at all, like that's the main ones, right?
Yeah.
So can we talk? You want to talk about football now? Or?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the evolution of football. How the league has changed over the years.
It's fixed.
And what the future might hold. Is it fixed?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, we're just gonna put this shit on the internet. So like, what you tell me, for real. You think that it's fixed? Like, dude, there's dudes that have been sending me TikTok videos, and that shit has to be fixed. Like, there's like...
It's not fixed by the players. It might be fixed by the referees.
Bro.
At certain...
There was a dude... Okay, so, like, you're a giant Patrick Mahomes fan, right?
Yeah, he's alright.
Right.
Pretty average. Pretty average.
Oh,
QB.
okay. Oh, okay. Okay, anyways, we're talking about the greatest of all time the other day, and we got a crazy...
Yeah, he's pretty average QB.
So I mean... I kind of respect what he's done in the league and like how he's won all the championships and shit. And like,
fuck it.
He does great, right? But there's this video of him running down the sideline trying to get to the first down. They had to have the first down to save the game, and the DB comes up and there's one blocker in front of him. Instead of coming and hitting Patrick Mahomes, he runs directly into the blocker. Patrick Mahomes makes the first down. They kick the field goal and win the fucking game. Like you have to see it. It is like totally
the Super Bowl.
No, it was not on the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it was. I can pull it up here.
The players aren't in on it. If anything, it's referees, it's officials. The players are not in on it. You're fucking crazy if you think the players are in on it.
I know that they want to try their heart out, bro, and I see them trying their heart out. I for real do.
Players are not in on it. You have to understand the magnitude. If an owner went to a player or anybody went to a player and said, "Hey, sir, do you think you can throw this game?" and then that player would bribe and blackmail that person for the rest of their life and get $100 million out of them to not tell that secret. There's no way it's on the players.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. This is the video. We're watching it right now. So, are you seeing what's happening right here? Let's flip this around so you guys can see it. So, this is the video I'm talking about. I can't tell you exactly when this was, even though that was what the question you hit me with, is that this is Patrick Mahomes. Why would you go that way and hit that dude if the shit ain't rigged? That makes no sense at all, bro.
He might have thought Patrick was running to the outside.
Yeah.
So you think that player is on the rig?
I don't.
That's what you're saying. You're saying, why did he not do that? So you're specifically talking about that specific player, number 27.
Okay, so all I'm saying is this, dude. Hold on, I've messed this thing up. All I'm saying is that this looks kind of rigged, right? Let's see if I can get this thing going again.
Yeah, that's not a good look, but that could easily be he thought Patrick was going to go outside and try to take that blocker on.
I seriously hope that that's true, but like,
players are not in it.
Me and you are athletes, right? And like, if I was to get this shit flipped around, Okay, do I have to like turn this off and start it over? Okay, there it goes. Now it's back. Okay, so now, right? All I'm saying is that, like, when people say that this shit's rigged, and then I see shit like that, like, it makes me think in my fucking brain, like, holy shit. Like, if I was that DB and I was coming up to make that fucking tackle, there's no way I'm running into that motherfucker. I'm trying to take him out by his hips.
Dude, there's 3,000 circumstances like that every year.
Right.
It's like, why do tacklers not wrap up Alvin Kamara? Why do they just bounce off him?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just football.
But the difference between Alvin Kamara and Patrick Mahomes is that's what his job is, to run the ball and like fucking blow people up. That's what he does. Patrick Mahomes throws the ball. I mean, he's a running quarterback, but he's not like a Lamar Jackson or nothing.
I'm saying there's tons of videos where Kamara's on the sideline and people just go to hit him, throw it small shoulder into him. Don't wrap him up. Don't do anything.
Well, they're scared.
Football.
They're scared to get hurt.
Exactly. They're probably scared of a penalty right there. They're probably scared if they touch pad, it's going to be a penalty. Or he thought that Mahomes was going to run outside. You see, when you say that this is rigged and you're pointing to the actual NFL player, that's where my problem lies.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, I love football and I want it in my heart of hearts to be, like, the fucking most honest fucking thing. But, like...
It might be rigged, but it's not rigged by the players.
Yeah, okay.
It might be rigged by the owners and the officials, and it's not rigged by the actual players. There's no fucking way. It's too risky.
Yeah, I love football, bro. It's my favorite time of the fucking year. I swear to God. Literally, like, I
can't
wait.
Wait on the fact that it's not the players, though, because it's not. Look at how bad that would get if that leaked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What if that leaked? Hey, I have.
But them players are seeing that same fucking video, bro.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? And just so even let's just say that motherfucker like really did think that. Like, he's got to explain that to his teammates. Like, dude, I fucked up. Like,
yeah. It's just it's an error, dude. These are human beings. They're not perfect. It's an error. He thought Mahomes was either going outside, or he thought if he put a body into him, he was going to get the flag. He didn't want to be the sole purpose for Mahomes getting that first down, because if his body would have came anywhere near Mahomes or anything, he's probably thinking, okay, if I get the penalty, that's an extra 15.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he does cut it outside. I don't want to get ran over by him. I don't want to be put on a film. Like I see this blocker here. I didn't want to get blindsided by this blocker, so I took the blocker on. There's a number of things that could be going on in that guy's head, because there's every situation. I mean, anything could happen. So
when we're just talking about being rigged, I'm just trying to give you an example. Like, there's dudes that send me that shit on a daily basis. Like, I'm looking at that shit, and some of them, that's like probably the prime example of like where I'm like, oh fuck, man.
That's human error.
Right.
So.
All right, so let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is fantasy football. So now we're not even talking about. We're gonna get rid of the rig thing. We're gonna get rid of like fucking.
I'm not saying it's not rigged. I'm just saying the players aren't rigging it.
So let's talk about fantasy football, because I know you play fantasy football, and I do. I'm a commissioner of 2 leagues, and I'm on 3 leagues now. But I've been up to 6 leagues at a time. So I've won multiple championships. I've probably made more money than I've spent.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not a lot can say that.
Right. So I'm not saying like I'm some fucking guru or whatever. I mean, I played against some suckers, but I've played against some people that are like fucking grind that shit, like watch ESPN every minute waiting for the trade or the fucking guy to get brought up or the fucking whatever, right? In the real grinder. Like I was a real grinder for a while. Like I was fucking getting the alerts on my phone and shit, being the first one to pick up the dude, you know.
Yeah.
But now I got a family, and like I do it more for fun than to like literally try to take people's money. Like it's not that important to me like it was before.
Right. For sure. Yep, that's just part of it.
So who's your favorite fantasy football player?
It's a good question. Probably Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson?
Maybe.
That's good. You picked a wide receiver. A lot of people pick quarterbacks. A lot of people pick running backs.
I mean, Christian's the best fantasy player.
Oh, yeah. I had him in 1 league last year.
Yeah.
I lost anyway, but I had another dog on my team. I think I had Tyreek Hill on that same team, dude. And I still lost.
He's good.
But my favorite of all time is definitely Tucker. The kicker from fucking Baltimore has made me more fucking money than anyone else.
What round do you pick him in?
I try to pick him in like the 9th round. Like that's way fucking early for a kicker. Like way.
Yeah, but for him it's different.
Right. He's like on a whole different level. He beat the Lions last. Remember, not this last season, but the season before that.
Yeah.
The motherfucker kicked a 70-yard field goal. Was that what it was? He broke the NFL record. It hit the fucking bottom bar and went through. I swear to God, that dude broke my fucking heart that day. And I fucking hate Justin Tucker, but I love him as a fantasy football player. So
yeah, he's a dog.
He is a dog. All right. So now the next one we're going to talk about is MMA and boxing. Discuss the popularity, the difference, and the future of both sports.
Which one?
MMA versus boxing. So I was looking at a graphic the other day on Facebook, and it was like boxing is bringing way larger purses than MMA.
Yeah. 20, 30 times the amount.
Right. So like, say if I was a professional fucking punch people in the fucking facer, right? Like, would I rather box where I'm stuck to this one single discipline, or would I like to be able to like use my feet and my elbows too, right?
One's got a lot more money. One's more, I think boxing, it's more competitive because way more people do it. So it's a lot harder to be better at it. Not as many people have the balls to do MMA, you know.
Well, you can get fucked up either way. Like, no matter what, dude. Like, some guy that sits and punches a fucking bag all day long and then you finally get your face in front of it, like, that's not someone I want to step to.
MMA is different, though. Boxing, you can just beat the shit out of someone's face, you know. You can just, and there's padded gloves, right? MMA, you take your knee and you can jack someone and cut their whole eye wide open and they're wide open gash now.
Oh, yeah.
It's a whole different animal.
Well, we were talking about the gloves, too. Like, where after they get all taped up and they get inspected, they'll sit there and just beat their gloves down so that all the padding gets smushed from where your knuckles are out to the sides or onto the top, right? So, like, even though that it looks like there's a big poof here, all that padding is either fucking compacted down super hard or it's, like, pushed off to the side. So, like, even though it looks like these guys got these big old pillows on their hands, it's not.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. It's just that's the only way you can get hit those with the glove. Whereas MMA, you're getting hit with like feet, knees, real raw bone.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, and
and they can choke your ass too on top of all that.
It's really actually hurting, like really physically hurting you.
Yeah.
Boxing's gonna hurt you more over time because you probably take more headshots. You know, so over time, boxing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like MMA has evolved huge since I was young and I watched it. Remember we talked about like where I was watching that shit like when it very first hit America, right?
Yeah.
It was like right after Pride fighting. I mean, Pride was still going on while it was the Ultimate Fighting Tournament back then, and they would fucking fight like 4 or 5 fights in a row, and then at the end of the night there would be a champion, right?
Was that before Dana?
Yeah. That was like when I think Royce Gracie. It might have been right before him actually. Even. You remember a guy named Ken Shamrock?
I do. Yeah.
So like
WWE.
No, dude, he was a fighter, right?
He did everything.
Right. So anyways, like
WWF actually.
that dude fucking. I mean, one of the very first MMA fights that I seen, it wasn't even called that then. It was just like fucking. This dude considers himself a bone breaker. This dude thinks that he practices in Taekwondo. This dude practices in wrestling. This dude practices in Jiu-Jitsu, right? And it wasn't called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back then. It was just Jiu-Jitsu. And then like everyone knew, oh, it's Judo Chop or Judo, right? But now that like everyone's way more educated on it, right? Like Brazilian style Jiu-Jitsu is fucking probably makes you the baddest motherfucker in the world, right? So like
up there.
Right, so like it gives you techniques to choke people with their own clothes. It gives you ways to break out of things like where you can breathe through chokeholds. It gives you ways to bend people's arms in ways that will make them submit. You know, there's a million different aspects to it, right? So you take that platform of like being able to like survive a ground attack and being able to deliver it, and then you like put it with like kickboxing or boxing or even regular wrestling, like. Now, like someone that's gonna be in a fucking fight with you, like it doesn't give you a chance. It doesn't matter if I'm standing up with you. If I'm a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu guy, like of course I'm gonna like try to like fucking not eat too many punches and tackle you, right? But so in my mind, I used to love boxing, and then there became the boxers that were really super good that always were like dodging fights and dodging punches, and it was like more like I felt like they were cowards, dude. I want to see a brawl. I want to see people knocking their fucking heads off, right?
Yeah.
And so I've lost my taste for the sport. But like, if the most supreme athletes that are getting paid the biggest purses are in that sport, then like I have to start watching it more. Like I didn't realize it was like that big of a disparity where like the champion of the UFC is making like say
$750,000
right
compared to 17 million.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like
Crazy.
it's not even the same thing, right? It's like a total different. It's kind of like playing rugby compared to fucking football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And rugby's a more badass sport. You're not wearing fucking helmets and shit like that. And you're doing a lot of the same actions, right? Where there's like tackling and you're fucking throwing the ball around and shit. But like the only pads they have on is like the shit that's under their shirt and like maybe some elbow pads and knee pads and shit, right?
Yeah.
But they're still getting. I mean, do you even get paid to play rugby? I don't see it professionally broadcast or anything, right? So, in my opinion, I think that boxing is probably going to make a comeback.
I gotta take a small break real quick. I gotta call my brother.
All right, well, we're wrapping up anyway. You want to just wrap this sucker up?
Yeah.
All right, so, again, I'm Jesse Long with Remax First and Detroit Metro Auctions. And you are?
Zack Haun with Remax First, real estate agent.
And we're always looking to talk to new customers. We're looking to try to maybe give you some of our expertise to be able to do business with you, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So
stop in and see us.
Yep, we're in Chesterfield. We're right in the same. Well, I don't even know how to explain it. We're at 23 Mile Road in Gratiot. There's a famous restaurant right next door called Louis. Yeah, you can get awesome steaks there, and you get awesome real estate here. So it was a pleasure talking with you today, Zach, and we'll see if we'll do this again sometime.
We'll see you guys.
Later.